What's up? My name is Eric Butler. This channel is called Report and Opine. I am back, and this is a video straight from the Speaker Pelosi Instagram account, even though I don't think she's Speaker anymore. Doesn't matter. Not the point. The old Crypt Keeper, as I like to call her, now wants you to believe that a little boy can magically become a little girl. Even though, for the majority of her life, this just was not a thing, but they will stop at nothing. And Nancy, you've already won the game. You're 117 years old. You've been insider trading for decades. You have all the money in the world. Your husband drives around drunk. Nobody can touch you. Why are you still doing this to people? It doesn't make any sense. They're completely drunk on power and probably also drunk on booze in Nancy's case. But the caption says, "Today I spoke on the floor to affirm that every child, regardless of gender identity, deserves a chance to be part of a team. Republicans' dangerous bill puts transgender kids in harm's way and puts politics over participation. None of this makes any sense. The gaslighting is absolutely through the roof, but this is how stupid they think you are."
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank the gentleman for yielding, and I thank him for his leadership for fairness and safety in our schools and for justice in our community. I stand here.
And what she talks like she's got rocks in her mouth. Like, give it up, lady. Most people retire at, I don't know, 60 or 70 years old, but here she is, well into her 80s, still forcing this nonsense on people. These are things that she wouldn't have even said a decade ago, and now she's pretending that it's all normal.
Here today in opposition to the legislation that is on the floor and listening carefully to the maker of the motion. He references a religious context in his comments, and so will I then, following his lead. Yes, we are all God's children. We all have a spark of divinity in us.
She wants to play the moral high ground while telling you that you should probably castrate children. There's nothing more despicable. These people are trying to play God. They want to make sure that you believe in nothing except for the idea that the political establishment is your God.
And therefore are worthy of respect. And that spark of divinity that is within us insists that we respect it in others as well.
What do you talk? This is political platitudes. It's all a bunch of words with no meaning.
So recognizing that we are all God's children, I rise in opposition to this legislation because trans kids.
All God's children. Nancy, God created man and woman. Look, I'm not a biblical scholar. I'm not a religious guy, but you're not going to play the God card while you're trying to convince people that you should be mutilating children. Give me a break.
Are all God's children, belong in sports, in schools, in books, in families, and on teams. It's really important for us as leaders in our country to speak with respect for all of the people in our country.
False. She won't treat anybody in opposition to this agenda with any semblance of respect. Give me a break. We all know that.
Trans kids listen and hear what we say. And
yeah, because you turned them into trans kids. Nobody on their own is going to come to the conclusion as a child that they are the opposite gender. It just will not happen. It's been foisted on them by creepy parents, creepy teachers, and creepy politicians. It's all disgusting.
We do not want to do them harm for whatever purpose on the floor of this House. The gentleman also referenced Title IX. While none of us were probably here when Patsy Mink very courageously passed Title IX, many of us were here as we reauthorized it over time and fought off initiatives to weaken it, to say that supporting women in sports was taking away from men in sports. Simply not the case. But I will say that this bill is an insult to the legacy of fairness and inclusion that Patsy Mink intended and was passed by the House and the Congress when Title IX, Senator Birch Bayh in the Senate of Indiana. So I say let every child, regardless of gender identity, deserve a chance to be part of a team.
Regardless of gender identity. So, I mean, Are we talking that there's 2? Are we talking that there's 10? There's 75? I mean, none of it makes any sense. But as per usual, it will always conflict with another one of their talking points. If you follow it doesn't have a logical conclusion, but if you follow it to its illogical conclusion, you will soon realize that it makes no sense, is in direct opposition with another one of their talking points every single time.
To learn lessons of sportsmanship and
Gentleman
push
sounds
themselves to reach their fullest potential and vote no against this legislation.
Yeah, lady, why are you still here? You beat the game. You're completely untouchable. Nothing can get you. And here you are still pushing this. And these are the same people that are constantly going to talk about the systemic issues and oppression and all that stuff. It's like, you have been in government since, for 40 years, 4 or 5 decades. You've been in politics, right? And you want to point the finger at a system of oppression. It's absolutely ridiculous. You are the system. Bo Jiden is the system, right? But they will never stop. They are power-hungry tyrants. And unfortunately, the only way to stop any of them at this particular point in time, I believe, is for the clock to just stop ticking on them. So, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe.